Ruben, congratulations on the victory. What was your assessment of the performance?
I think it was good. I felt a little bit a lack of energy, but they gave everything. Some players were tired with the Aiden problem, but I think we deserved the win. We controlled the game. We could be better with the ball, but I understand after these 2 weeks with a lot of games, I think the lads deserved the win. And was a perfect way to end this week with a win for our away supporters. They are amazing.
A perfect week for Bruno Fernandes too. 2 assists tonight and a great goal. What does he bring to your team?
What you saw and what we see every week. But the most important thing is the work that he puts in everything he does, and that is the most important thing.
And a goal for Rasmus Højlund as well. That'll do his confidence a lot of good, won't it?
Yeah, in the difficult goal, a difficult control, right foot. So it's a shame we are going to stop for national teams, but we will return with confidence. But it's just one win away. We have to continue when we return.
A really disappointing moment, though, for Aiden Heaven. What can you tell us about the injury so far?
I don't know. It's hard to know because we have to evaluate during the week, and also because he's a young kid that doesn't know how to explain, and that makes it a little bit harder to understand what he's feeling.
But it must have been a tough moment because he came on and showed a lot of promise, didn't he, in his first start?
Yeah, he already did that against Arsenal, and today. Against Real Sociedad. Today was for me the most difficult game for him because he plays so well against Real Sociedad, and we expect always for these young kids to relax a little bit, but he was so focused and he played quite well. So let's hope for the best.
In some respects, is the international break coming at a good time? It gives you the rest and recuperation that I think you're sort of hinting you need.
I think it was clear today. They are in the limit. We have to recover players. We are going to use that window to work some players, to rest some players, to recover. So it's going to be good.
And going in with wins as well does a lot for the squad unity as a whole.
It's completely the feeling is completely different. But when we return, it's like starting again from the scratch.
Thanks for your time, Ruben.
Thank you.
Well, it's certainly been a tough start to Ruben Amorim's Manchester United career, hasn't it? Are we seeing signs that he's getting to grips with it, Phil?
I think so, just with the performances of late, the results that they've got. I think he'd be praying and crossing his fingers that he gets everyone back fit from international break. But it was a really good marker today, especially off the back of Real Sociedad, as he said. It was a quick turnaround for them. Players should be used to that. But it was also pleasing to see the amount of young players on the pitch at the end of the game. The likes of Aiden Heaven, Toby Collier, Chido came off the bench as well. So. Listen, that's part of the United's DNA. It's part of the makeup of the club is they produce good young players to come through, and when they're needed and called upon, they can produce performances and come in at a high level. And
well, that's no coincidence, isn't it? Only Spurs have given more minutes to teenagers so far this season. 5 used by Manchester United. You've name-checked most of them. Aiden Heaven, as we heard, as well, we keep our fingers crossed for him on a really promising start to his Manchester United career. Stretch it off today, but Toby Collier on the pitch, Chido Obi, Kobe Mainu makes up that as well, and Harry Mas, making his 18th birthday today on his senior debut. So, does it feel like this is a very deliberate play from Ruben Amorim to blood as many young players as possible and perhaps hint towards the future direction for Manchester United in the short term? Well,
I think he's had to with the amount of injuries that they've sustained this season. It's been really difficult to really have a solid back line. We don't know. Sometimes there's 2 6s, there's 1 6. We don't know who's playing with the injuries, but I think he's managed it reasonably well, and he's had to blood these young players. But listen, these young players wouldn't come into the team if they weren't good enough, and he didn't think they were good enough. So really pleasing to see. But again, like I said, the most important thing for now for United is to get back everyone fit from international duty and really try and go for the Europa League, because if they can get into the Champions League next season, that'll be a really big boost for them.
Because they return with tough games as well, away to Nottingham Forest, home to Manchester City in the derby before they play Lyon in the first of those Europa League quarter-finals.
Ruud, was that a night where you had little moments of quality, but overall perhaps just not enough?
Yeah, I think both boxes, the quality, the difference in quality showed, the efficiency in finishing chances, and also defending key moments in the game. I think overall, if you look at the numbers, the metrics of the game, there's not much into it, but the difference is the efficiency.
And when you talk about that efficiency that United showed, did heads drop slightly after that? Is there a sense of inevitability when you do go one down at the moment?
No, I didn't see that at one down. We stayed in the game. We kept pushing. We had the opportunity to get back into it. Also at 2-0 down with the big chance for Bonanotte. That was cleared off the line by De Ligt. Of course, we had a few moments before that. Also with a double chance for Patson, Daka and Bilal in the first half. We had Will very close to on a cross. We had Jamie with a couple of dangerous moments, and yeah, it's difficult when the ball doesn't go in.
Yeah, is it difficult now when you get back into the dressing room and addressing the players when
situation around to start scoring goals, to start getting a clean sheet, to start picking up points, and that's now we have a good break, a long break, and we'll come back from there.
How do you keep the belief going? Because with each week, I imagine there's a new mental scar. Each defeat adds to what happened previously, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we know what situations we are. As I said, Ipswich and Southampton are in a similar situation as us the whole season. So as they are, we are in a situation too where we have to deal with this situation and make the most of it, and that's a challenge. But I think we're capable.
Appreciate your time, Ruud.
Thank you.
Does it motivate you?
I think both. Obviously, it's not nice to hear bad things about you. That's I think no one likes it. But at the same time, a lot of margin for improvement in my game, in my leadership, in everything I do, even in my own life.
Well, thank you very much, Bruno, for addressing that. And we wish you well for the rest of the season. And congratulations tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Well, he is leading by example, isn't he?
He is. We spoke about him at the start of the show. Listen, leaders come in all different kinds. He certainly leads by example for me. The times that I spent with him in the training ground, on the pitch, he was always great with the young lads. He always set the tone for the tempo of the training session. And at the minute, he's carried the team a little bit when he's needed. He's needed to produce some big goals, some big moments, and big players do that.
Do the other players? I mean, we're just seeing this graphic, and we should note the other names that are on that list as he reaches the 50, because it was definitely his touch. He told us, not Jamie Vardy's for the second one tonight. Do the other players look at him as the guy that sets the standards in the Manchester United dressing room? And do you think he can do anything more to help take them in the right direction?
Absolutely, he sets the tempo. And like I said, the players in and around the club and the staff, they certainly admire him, and the young players look up to him. As I said before, I think that the question marks over him perhaps were in the big games. Can he produce those big moments in the big games? But I think he's proven that in the last 6-7 months. I think he's taken his game to another level, and it's been difficult. It's been difficult circumstances surrounding the club. It's been difficult to get points on the board. They've had some difficult moments in some tough games. So, I think he's a good captain. I think he leads by example. I think the players can see that, the manager can see that, and I think he's heading in the right direction.
Mark, it's a difficult night for ex-Leicester players, for Leicester fans, for the current Leicester group. We'll come to the bigger picture in a moment, but let's have a look at the goals. First of all, one I think that you felt Leicester City's back line could just have been a little bit sharper to prevent.
Yeah, I think in the first instance, obviously Samare finds himself in the back line for some reason. I'm not sure what's happened before that, but he finds himself in the position that he shouldn't be in. He can't get his body and his feet sorted. But then Wout Faes has to go down. He has to go and close down Rasmus Højlund. He has to go and put pressure on him, get in his face and stop that shot. Because he takes 3, 4, 5 touches before finishing it. It's a great finish, we said this, but the defending has to be better.
And what impact will that have on Højlund, who hadn't scored for 22 hours?
Yeah, massive. He needed that. I could see it in the last few weeks. He had that hunger in his eyes, especially Thursday night. You could see he's almost trying too hard to score. He's found himself in the right places on Thursday night a couple of times, but just didn't quite come off. But that'll do him a world of good. But like Mark said, the defending there was really, really poor. Such an avoidable goal. I see that a lot about defenders these days. They're a yard, 2 yards away, and they think that's defending. They think that they're tight enough, but no. You have to take the last step sometimes and go and try and get closer and tighter. And he could have definitely prevented or at least got a nick on it and made it more easy for the goalkeeper to get down and get something.
Well, could you say the same about Garnacho's goal?
Yeah,
because the game was very much in balance at 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. The same type of scenario. Leicester are back in good numbers. They don't really look at United. Don't really look like they're posing a threat. A real mix-up. No one really wants to go. No real desire to go and get after the ball. A bit passive. Very passive defensively. Indeed, he doesn't even try and stick a leg out, and it's a simple goal for Garnacho, but again, really avoidable. And it's the story of the season for Leicester. They've conceded so many goals like this throughout the season where, you know, just when they're getting an edge in a game and getting a chance to get back into the game with a bit of momentum, they concede soft, sloppy goals like this one.
Inevitably, there will be that time, whether it's now or whether it's after the international break, Mark, when they're sitting down looking at these goals with the manager going through them bit by bit. What do you think the reaction will be seeing the defending there?
No, but I think it's been the same for the majority of the season. I think that's why they find themselves in the position they are. They've conceded, the goals that they've conceded this season have been too sloppy, too easy. It's been too easy for teams to score against Leicester this season. I look at that one, for example. Nobody's proactive. Everybody's reacting, and they're reacting too slow. You have to read the bounce of the ball. You have to be prepared to know where it's going to go and try and read that as best as possible.
I'll show you it again, Mark. Here you go.
Yeah, when the ball comes out here, you have to get out quicker to start with. You have to get out faster. Ball comes back out again. Still no one close to them. And they're able to work the ball into your penalty box. And then, yeah, it's a bit of pinball, but that last one that comes off Christensen, I think it is, somebody has to be there and stop that.
That can't happen. That can't happen at any level. It's really, really poor. They've got numbers back. They're in set positions. And it's just really, really sloppy, a bit of a deflection. Indeed, he doesn't really make an influence and try and block the ball. And they leave themselves a mountain to climb. And I see Leicester doing that a lot this season. I've watched them a few times live, and quite early on in the game runs away from them, and it can get really, really away. You know, there could be 2-3. I watched the game against, I think it was Fulham. I think they were 3 down at half-time, ended up being 5-0. So they need to find a way to win, but it's looking a real tall order now to claw themselves out the bottom 3.
Especially when Bruno goes and sticks another one in, just to, add salt to that wound.
Yeah, Bruno was terrific again today. He looks like he's really enjoying himself at the minute. And he's enjoying that sort of leadership role that he spoke about. Brilliant work from Diogo, to be fair. Did well to spot him, and this is Bruno at his best. He just takes it in his stride, perfect shot, perfect accuracy. Diogo does really well. Diogo's got that in his locker. You just see how he stays away from the ball. Everyone's going towards the goal, everyone's backing off, no one's really picking him up. He takes up a really clever position on the edge of the box, and it's a really good strike. Great finish, keeper's no chance.
But again, from a Leicester point of view, I look there and you've got 3 centre midfielders on the pitch. Harry Winks has come deeper to protect the ball across. But where are the other two? They're not close enough. Somebody has to be on the edge of the box. You've got Bruno Fernandes on the edge of your penalty box with a ball coming across to him. Somebody has to be there to stop that shot. And don't get me wrong, lovely bit of skill here, good ball across, and the cleverness of Bruno Fernandes just to hold his run and just stay on the edge of the box is fantastic. But
it's tough for Mavididi to see that again and again, isn't it? But that's not his position.
No, he's tried to get back, he's tried to stop it, but he's been done by a bit of skill. But it's on the edge of the box. Somebody has to stop the shot.